This is my 8.2 Infinity Beeline, and this is my 7.4 Chronos Nano.
Blue, you're my boy!
For years, the Chronos has been my favorite SUP surf of all time. But since I was riding this regularly, I've gotten 5 years older, I've had 5 surgeries, and I've gained 15 pounds. Good pounds though. Last spring, I picked up the Beeline just to get back out in the water. It's been great, but I think I'm ready to size back down. The Chronos is a little bit too small for me still, so I'm looking for a board to slot right in between the two. So I'm heading down to Southern California to meet Dave Boehne at Infinity to talk about a custom Blurr V3.
Nobody's stronger than me.
Nobody even understands it but me.
Nobody knows what it means.
I know what it means.
I alone can fix it.
What? You're fucking hot!
I only came here to do two things, man. Kick some ass and drink some beer.
Here we go!
All right, down in sunny San Diego. Time to head down to Dana Point so I can meet up with Dave Boehne. They say you shouldn't meet your heroes, and I know I sound like a bit of a fanboy saying that Dave's one of my heroes, but I have so much respect for Dave and I think he's done so much for this sport. SUP surfing would not be the same without him, so I'm really excited to get the chance to talk with him. And I'm such a nerd talking about boards and shapes and dimensions. I think I drive my friends crazy sometimes, but I know Dave will be there and patiently answer all my questions and explain to me how things work and why he makes certain decisions. I'm also super excited to take a look at this prototype Blurr. The V2 has been in my radar for years, and the V3 looks even sweeter. Heading into the Infinity shop, I really feel like a kid in the candy store. I could stay and look at boards for hours. So here we go. Here's my conversation with Dave.
So what size were you thinking?
Okay, so I was thinking 7.6 by 26,
Okay.
87 liters. So you're adjusting the thickness to see where the
Yeah.
volume lands?
Like, since this is so close to like a finished file I have,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of adjusting, right? So, I mean, it's literally this easy.
Yeah.
Everything's already, I don't have
All
to
proportions
change the
and-
rocker,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just hitting your numbers, right?
Yeah.
If I didn't have this size already, yeah, then a lot more scaling is be done.
Tinkering on stuff.
Probably drop the rockers, different things like that. Sometimes you gotta adjust like the foil of the rails and everything.
So you're saying that your production might come down
It's gonna be an 80 liter board.
80?
Yeah.
7.8?
7, 8, 26, 80.
Oh wow, okay, so quite a bit thinner.
Yeah.
So you think going 7.6, 87 liters is making a bit of a fat boy? Am I making some pretty fat rails on that? Or is that going to be similar to this?
It'll be still.
Like rail thickness will be similar to
Yeah,
this?
so with this board, I actually I foiled it out a little more. Right this section was just like a little quirky to me.
Yeah.
So even that file right here, this is more sweet.
Yeah.
Even back here, it's a little more sweet.
Yeah.
And there's actually a rolled step deck in it. This one doesn't have it.
Okay.
So I'll show you. So
And that's what you're going to do with your
production.
You're going to make it kind of like the V2 sort of?
Yeah, but it's
a little less
way
pronounced.
mellowed out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really see it there. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's not like.
Just slice
It's not
in the middle.
as vicious. I've been doing a lot of these for guys that are scared of the step deck, but they want it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. They want. I don't want a step deck, but I want a super thin rail, and I want a lot of volume.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically
Okay,
it.
perfect.
Yeah. So the rails will be much more nicer than these. That was the only thing with this board. It took me like a second to like get it over to rail, and it's just because all this right here is a little too big. So I'm like, I was trying to get away with no step rail. Just people get weirded out about it, I don't know. But it was just
But this one looks chill.
Yeah, I feel it's a good compromise.
Yeah, and it actually adds a little bit of aesthetic. Like,
yeah,
it makes it look like a jet fighter.
Yeah, it actually builds strength into the board too. It's like a corrugation.
Oh, really? Eh?
You know, like on the top of a car.
Huh.
So it adds a little stiffness.
And I learned kind of the first round when I was trying to find boards is I kept sizing down.
Yeah.
That if I go paddle on a board and it's comfortable the first time, it's too big.
Yeah.
Like,
true. Yeah.
It always takes me 3-4 sessions and then I lock in on it.
Yeah, for sure on a performance style board.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And a lot of times I'll try to get guys to, instead of like I'd rather actually go an inch wider than go thicker in a board.
Oh yeah.
Keep it thinner.
Huh.
So like if guys are at that, like say 100, like you're saying 90 liters is probably the best spot.
Yeah.
And the board's not stable for you, I would encourage you to go wider and go thicker.
Huh? Well, I wonder if I should go 7.6 by 27. No. I want 26.
Just
I know.
try this one. I think
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine too.
Yeah, and this board too, like it does a good job of like this right here. The width right here is actually really important for stability.
Yeah.
Even more so than right here, but so like I feel like it stays like pretty. Like, it's got a nice curve. It doesn't like not fully turn in, but it turns in behind these fins.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited for.
I was pretty stoked on the stability of it actually. I don't
Yeah.
want to say it's more stable than the V2, but it felt like that.
Huh.
It felt like it for me. So are you gonna do 5 fins?
Okay, that's a thing. Like, if this works as a thruster,
Yeah.
like if you're like,
I'm gonna offer it as a 5 fin. I try to take all the variables of anybody complaining about something.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So, but I would say 90% of people that have a Blur or this, like Sebastian, whoever it is, we ride them as thrusters.
You ride them as thrusters
Right.
because it's got us. Like, this will be my first like for SUP skinny tail board.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
And I kind of set it and forget it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I usually don't.
I think you're a candidate just to keep them there. And believe it or not, it does save a decent amount of weight.
Yep. Okay, let's just do a thruster.
Futures or FCS2.
Futures, please. Yep.
And then I've just been doing all shortboard boxes, no slider anymore. But if you have fins with the slider, the slide box.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Remember Homer Simpson's car?
What's that?
This car company's like, let's let the customer design a car. So Homer Simpson designs this car.
Yeah.
And it's like atrocious because he tries to put all these features in.
I want a place in this car to put my drink. You know those super slakers they sell in a Quickie Mart? The cup is this big. I'm not done yet. Some things are so snazzy they never go out of style. Like tail fins and bubble domes.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the car designed for the average man, the Homer.
Any questions?
Same with these fins, like, don't give me the option to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, I trust where you're gonna put this. Do you say wrapping the rails in carbon's worth it?
You mean like on a custom if we did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like carbon rails?
Yeah. Like, does that add strength to the, like, knowing I'm a rail basher?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if it'll help any more than adding an extra layer of glass, to be honest.
Oh, really?
But like the reason we use carbon is if you take the stringer out, you have to build back the strength.
Oh, okay. So it's for like longitudinal strength?
Yeah, so that's why I started moving. I like it just on the rails and down the center because then it still has play, right? If you do a full carbon, it just, for me, it feels too stiff.
Again, I'm such a intermediate that I don't think I would notice. Like if it's too stiff all carbon, I wouldn't notice the difference.
An all carbon vacuum bag, I think, will be stronger. Yeah, to smack it.
Yeah. Well, let's vacuum bag it for sure because that brings down the weight.
Yeah.
If that means they have to do full carbon, but then if they can vacuum bag it with just carbon rails, I mean, I'll take your advice. I'll take your guidance on that. Like, if you think carbon rails and carbon stringer, or
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, if someone wants a stringless board, that's the layup I generally do.
Okay.
It's carbon rails and
carbon string.
Carbon stringers. And then if they want to save a little money and get a little more creative with the colors and stuff, then I'll do a stringer, no carbon. You want a resin on it, color on it, or what are you gonna do?
Just white.
Just white.
Yeah. Ideally, this just looks like an old school white shortboard.
If they just did a resin tint, which is the easiest, it would milk out the black rails, so you wouldn't see the rails that much, right?
Don't care.
Okay, then that's what they do, just a white resin tint.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about I don't care if it looks kind of rough.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, that's perfect then.
Yeah. I think that's it, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. You're the first custom off like the final.
Off that? Cool.
Final one.
Right on. And hopefully the first vacuum bagger.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That shape just looks proper. Yeah, that looks great. But I was gonna ask you this: do you make you have production boards and customs? Is customs kind of like work of passion? Like, do you like, as far as like making a living? Is it all about production, or do you still do good numbers as a business?
I think we do a decent amount. Like, all our surfboards are custom.
Yeah.
The only way to like scale your business as a paddleboard brand, you have to do production.
Yeah.
It's the only way. Like,
Your boards are everywhere. Everywhere I go, they're everywhere.
We did the custom thing, and we still do it, but we were just trying to be USA made and custom 100%, and that's just kind of like old school, like my dad, you know?
Yeah.
And it just got to a point where I'm happy with the amount of customs I'm doing now. It's much less than before.
Yeah.
But it's like keeps me busy, and because at the end of the day, the custom thing is just hard. Like you can't scale it. You got to shape it. Like if someone wants it in Florida, you got to ship it there, and it's just a lot harder. Where forget about someone who lives out of the country.
Yeah.
They got to come here to pick it up, or it costs as much to ship it as much as the board.
Right. Whereas with the production, you have distribution. Go pick it up at this place. And
and we're finally at a spot where the line is pretty expansive now. Unless you're super picky, there's a board in there for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm assuming your new secret model is like a longboard model.
Well, the 3 models is
the skate pod.
The skate pod, which just came out.
Yeah.
The V3, which is coming out summer. Beeline twin fin.
Beeline twin fin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Twin with a trailer. It's actually sick. So that one's coming for sure in summer as well, and then we're gonna bring out another add a longboard.
A longboard in.
Yeah. So
I imagine do those sell the most, the longboards?
Our number one board for the last few years has been the New Deal for sure.
Yeah.
1029.
Yeah.
It's kind of skewed though because the wide speed's new, so the wide speed was like the new one.
New kid on the block.
Last year,
yeah.
By volume.
I know I have 2 buddies that I need to get on the wide speed.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat board. Yeah. It's a board that
it's like for 50-year-olds that want to pretend like they can surf shortboards but can't.
Yeah, so I'm updating all the sizes 8.6 and smaller.
Yeah.
Because generally guys who ride a board 8.6 or smaller are intermediate or better.
Yeah.
And the way the bottom is, it's like honestly too kind of twitchy. For
I remember you saying that. Yeah, I actually found that in my like when I.
But for the big ones, it's like, dude, like you're not gonna find it because when they get up to 11 feet, there's no way you can find an 11 footer that turns better than that board.
No,
you know what I mean?
My buddy surfed the 10, and he was turning. I was just like, how is he even doing this?
It's automatic.
Yeah.
So I reconfigured the smaller sizes, so because I want to every board I want to have a size that I would enjoy riding. Yeah. So 7.7 through 8.6 will be new.
Yeah.
Same outline and everything, just the bottoms.
I can see myself coming back to you in a year and asking for like a 7.3 by 26 in that.
Yep.
Which I guess maybe you're like, we'll try the escape pod.
Yeah, the escape pod's just kind of like off on its own. It's kind of like a quiver filler, I feel.
Yeah, I
think if you just had that as just your only board, I feel like the range isn't wide enough.
Yeah.
You know, but for 80% of what people are surfing,
it'll do the trick.
I think it does, yeah.
A few moments later.
Well, this is pretty cool. Dave gave me a 7.8 Blurr V3 prototype for me to try out. I'm down at Tahini. I'm gonna go paddle it around and make sure that the 87 liter board that I just ordered up is suitable for me. This is 90 liters, so if I'm finding this difficult, I might be in a bit of trouble. So fingers crossed that I have an okay time on this and that my 87 liter order is the right one. If not, I'll make some adjustments. So let's go give this board a try. Super sick, I'm excited.
1 hour later.
Well, that was extremely cool. The waves were pretty tiny, I'd say like waist high. Sets were few and far between, but there was no wind and I had the brake all to myself. I got a chance to get on the Blurr for, I don't know, 3 or 4 pretty good waves. And yeah, no problem balancing in the lineup. I mean, it was a little tippier obviously than my bigger 8.2 by 29. But in general, it was actually pretty good and a little bit more stable than my tiny 81 liter Chronos. I think I could get away with maybe a little less volume and still be okay. I think going with that 7.6 by 26, 87 liter is the way to go. Super cool to get out there on it. I had one wave with juice and I got back on the tail and it felt so good doing a big arcing turn. I don't know if it was the thruster or the more narrow tail that I'm used to, but it felt really good. I want to thank Dave so much for letting me borrow that board. Pretty cool moment for me. It's still a prototype board. Not very many people have ridden the V3, so super cool to give it a try, and I think it's the right call moving forward for me. Anyway, let's get this board back and find some more spots to go surf. Hit subscribe to see how this turns out. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next. I think you should watch this one.